What's going on, guys? This is Just Eight here. Happy 4th of July. And today we're going to do something different. We're going to talk about the backstory of what happened to modern dating and why it's changed from our parents' generation or from our grandparents' generation to our parents' generation to now. So a little bit of a backstory. There's many reasons that factored into why modern dating is so difficult for a lot of men nowadays. I think it has simply to do with, number one, feminism. Feminism started in the 1960s along with the birth control pill invention. And that sort of took away all the institutions of shame that sort of kept society and women acting in sort of a moral way. And when you take away shame from, leaving your husband, cheating on him, doing all these sorts of things that are seen as immoral prior to that timeline, when you take away all that shame, that leaves women to kind of act on their own devices. And when women can hook up with someone without feeling a little bit of shame, she's only going to hook up with the top echelon of men, which is the top 20% that I always talk about, the 80-20, the 80% of women going for top 20% of men. So this seemed like a good idea on paper when we deleted the institutions of shame with feminism happening in the 1960s. A lot of other men who were below average to average were super happy that this was going to happen because they had talked about free sex, free love, everything. But the problem, or the only caveat with that situation, is that when women given their own device to choose who they want to hook up with, they're only going to choose that top 20th percentile of man. And that's what we're kind of seeing today. Another factor that, sort of expedited this in the last 15 years, I would say, is the conception of Instagram. Now, Instagram completely globalized dating. With before Instagram, it was you had a hot girl in your town and you were only competing with guys within a 20-mile radius for that girl's attention. Nowadays, she can DM any sort of person on Instagram and get flights flown out, whether that's an NBA player or someone who's completely high status. So you're not only now competing within a 20-mile radius of your own town, you're competing with the entire world. So dating is sort of globalized due to Instagram and profiles kind of depicting certain lifestyles that women want to sort of enjoy. So all that's kind of exacerbated the whole hypergamy that we've talked about before. Another thing that has sort of limited dating based on looks that sort of contributed to that was the conception of dating apps. Now, dating apps has completely, in my opinion, been the nail in the coffin when it comes to dating. Everything is now surface level, all about looks, when in reality, most dating should be about, personalities, what someone can bring to the table, and to a degree it is, but I think looks have become more exacerbated than they've ever been, because now it's almost like a video game where you're swiping left and right, and the first picture that they see that's good looking in them, that meets a certain looks criteria, they swipe right, and if not, swipe left without any reading of anyone's personality or anything whatsoever. Dating has been subjected to, if you look a certain criteria, or if you meet a certain looks criteria or not, then you're swiped left on. And that's the biggest problem with dating. So a lot of men out there who are sort of average when it comes to the looks, or don't necessarily meet a certain looks criteria, but have a lot of charisma and have a lot of energy, and maybe even, make a good amount of money and have a certain amount of status, they're not really on a level playing field as they were 15 years ago, or prior to dating apps, so to speak. So dating apps has sort of ruined modern dating, or has kind of left it to what it is today, and how a lot of men right now are simply struggling with this. And the biggest way, or if I'm going to provide any kind of solution to this, which I'm working on, the biggest solution to this is to just maximize everything, all areas of your life. Maximize your looks, maximize your income, just maximize everything as much as you can, because being mediocre in this day and age is no longer rewarded. As sad as it is for me to say that, you have to maximize everything in your life. And the reason why so many looks maxers and so many people are kind of going viral right now is because with dating apps, the conception of them between 2016 to now has made it so that now modern dating is only, I would say 90% of all modern dates are meetups from dating apps. So that's kind of the world that we're living in today, and unfortunately the world's not going to change. You just sort of have to adapt to it, and the best way to adapt to it is to maximize those areas, especially looks, because no one's going out and meeting people in person anymore. It's almost exclusively on Hinge, Tinder, and Bumble. I have to say probably mostly Hinge, as that's probably the better of the three if I had to choose. So just maximize your profile, maximize your pictures, make a profile that looks like you enjoy life. I'm gonna make a separate video on how to make your dating profile stand out amongst others, because the average girl is getting about 72 likes per day, whereas the average man is probably getting 1 to 0 likes per day as well. So there's definitely an uneven playing field here, and the best way to sort of make that close is to just maximize those. So I'm gonna come up with another video to show you how to maximize dating apps, but right now I just kind of wanted to give a little backstory and to kind of tell you what went wrong in modern dating and how we're living in today, and that there's nothing really necessarily we can do to curb this, but the only way to adapt to this and to be up in that 20th percentile is to sort of kind of maximize those areas of your life. And again, I'm going to make separate videos for each in order to find a solution so that we can combat this big societal issue that is modern dating. So happy 4th of July again. I'm going to be out with my friends, hopefully do something fun this weekend, and I hope you guys do the same and stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.